please consider contributing to the Trilby Reviews and Film Brits Patreon for just $1 a month to get exclusive access, early downloads, and also names in the credits. Links will be provided in the description below, as well as sources for the news story.
On Lucy!
Oh, Paddington. This is perfect.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Trilby, and it has been confirmed numerically by scientists, by people in lab coats with chalkboards and whiteboards. It has been confirmed that Paddington 2 is in fact the greatest movie that has ever been made. And not only can I say that in terms of my personal opinion, but I can say it numerically now, because according to Rotten Tomatoes, Paddington 2 is now the highest scoring movie in the website's history. It currently stands at 100% certified fresh with 165 positive reviews, and it has overtaken Toy Story 2, which was the previous record holder, with 163 positive reviews, also standing at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. But Trilby, I hear you ask, wasn't this a story a couple of months ago in terms of Lady Bird? What about that movie? Well, that movie, when it shortly after it broke Toy Story 2's record with 164 positive reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, one critic did come along and basically openly admitted that he gave the film a semi-negative, semi-positive review just to spite Rotten Tomatoes. The critic was Cole Smithy, who initially gave the film a B- score, and he has later changed that to a C+ in light of the quite understandable backlash, because he basically openly admitted, I thought the movie was good, but I didn't want it to be 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, so even though I gave it a positive review, I made it sure it was a negative review on Rotten Tomatoes. So Never underestimate a really petty son of a bitch. But now the #1 movie on Rotten Tomatoes is Paddington 2. Rotten Tomatoes posted an interview with the film's director Paul King, who reacted saying, "The Paddington films are a real labour of love. So many people pour their hearts and souls into them for months or even years, handcrafting every last frame, and we are all incredibly grateful for the overwhelming positive response we've had so far. We hope it inspires people to go to the cinema to see for themselves if a talking animal film really can be any good, and whether Hugh Grant really can look devilishly handsome even while dressed as a nun. Clue. Yes." Now me, I really liked Paddington 2, mainly because it was more or less the same film as Paddington 1, but it was still a really good, family-friendly live-action film, which are kind of a dying breed nowadays. It's just a really well-meaning, kind-spirited movie that just is pure concentrated joy, and I'm glad that it has managed to at least do well financially as well as critically. Worldwide, it has currently grossed $141 million on a $50 million budget, which means it is more or less profitable, but it has grossed less than the first Paddington movie, which was a massive runaway success. It was the highest grossing movie in 2014 in the UK, but it didn't make all of its money in 2014. At the end of the year, I remember keeping up to date with all the box office around that time, and it was the second highest grossing movie of that year, behind The Hobbit and the Battle of the Five Armies. But what has happened is that at young audience screenings or special needs screenings or at Christmas screenings, they rolled out Paddington, the first movie, again, and it has managed to overtake The Hobbit to have a UK gross of $64 million and counting. As for Paddington 2, it currently stands at $55 million and counting, making it the 5th highest grossing movie of 2017, behind Despicable Me 3, Dunkirk, Beauty and the Beast, and Star Wars The Last Jedi. So while it has grossed slightly less than the first Paddington, it is still a big success for the film. Now the question is, will a critic like Cole Smithy or an Armand White come along just to spite Paddington 2 and give it a rotten review? Are we going to see a repeat of the Lady Bird fiasco from a couple of months ago? Probably, because there's too much short-term ad revenue and clickbait to be done from it, but as of right now, it's just great that a movie that is as well-meaning and well-spirited as Paddington 2, and also just well-made, is at the top spot on Rotten Tomatoes, and has, in a way, made history in its own way. But what did you folks think? Did you like Paddington 2? Did you dislike it? Let me know in the comment section below. Are you one of the American viewers who have kind of have ignored the Paddington films, but have these positive reviews that encourage you to give it a chance? I highly recommend you give it a chance, but that's just me. And let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Now, I know what you folks are thinking. Trilby, who are these awesome names who are scrolling by like in these sort of credits? Well, these folks are my patrons, yes, including Mad as a French Hatter. That was an actual name I was given. These folks are my patrons. They helped keep the lights on my Patreon. They also get early download codes for my podcast. They also get early access to my in-depth reviews and my top 10s and some of my videos. And they also get their names in the credits. If you'd like to get your name in the credits and become a patron, please see the Patreon link in the description below. Your patronage is always appreciated.